So hi, how you doing? Now you may be wondering where we are at this very, very moment. Well, let me tell you, we are in Savannah, Georgia. We're gonna talk today about Sherman's March to the Sea. Follow me. Sorry about that. All right, so here's the deal. Basically, my man, General Sherman, marched from Atlanta to Savannah during November 15th to December 21st, 1864. And during this time, as he marched, he'd come across farmers and all kinds of people on the countryside, and he would take all their stuff. He would eat their food, he would eat their livestock, whatever he could find. And if they stood up to him, or they were Confederate sympathizers, he burned everything to the ground. Here's your water, sir.
Clarence, what is this? Did I not say coffee?
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh. Ow! Ow, sir, sorry.
Clarence, if you ever do that again, you're fired, alright? Clarence. So yeah, I wrote this book about Sherman. It was called Sherman's March to the Sea, where he marched to the sea. Sherman did that, yeah. So on September 1st, 1865, William Sherman captured Atlanta, Georgia, which was pretty important for the Confederacy, I'd say.
I guess we captured Atlanta.
Sherman, yeah. Sherman was a guy of total war, you know. He wanted the civilians, and the civilians were essential to the Confederacy. They were the real supply, I guess you could say.
Watch out here, boy. I'm good. I have me some good chicken in it.
Yeah, he made the Confederates feel like pretty bad. The whole purpose of not the parade, but the whole purpose of his march was to not only physically damage everything that the Confederates had and all their supporters owned, but damage them mentally. Their morale pretty much sucked after what Sherman did.
Bang! Ah, it's the Union! Wow! Lord baby G!
He left 60,000 men in Tennessee and northern Georgia, and he took the rest of the 62,000 men straight to Savannah, Georgia. Yeah, so he split his army into two wings that were approximately 30 miles apart. And if his army did find any food that couldn't be eaten or carried, he just burned it like the rest of the houses and farms.
Oh, I see him! Back!
Move! Oh! I can burn this! So around mid-December 1864, he captured Savannah.
Got him, man. That's good. I'm glad we captured Savannah.
I guess we did, yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Boom!
Even after capturing and destroying Savannah, he rampaged through the Carolinas. He made the Confederates think he was going to Charleston, South Carolina, but he literally juked them and went to Columbia and burned that down instead. Several months later, the Confederates just surrendered. So, I guess they weren't that good, or Sherman did really good at his job.
Yeah, my name's Hank. My grandpapa was in the, was one of the targets from Sherman. Sherman destroyed Atlanta, destroyed Savannah, and all the way in between. Man, my grandpapa once told me, you ever see one of those Union boys, you gotta, whoo! And to this day, I've been